For centuries, humanity believed it had mapped every corner of the Earth. From the highest peaks to the deepest ocean trenches, we thought we knew it all. But deep beneath the official tunnels and the polished layers of the underground megacities lies a frontier untouched by law, light, or logic. This is where our story continues, in the uncharted blackness known only to a handful of explorers as the Abyssal Grid. It began as an abandoned geothermal zone beneath the Eurasian plates, but sensors from the lower cities started detecting rhythmic vibrations like a pulse. Not mechanical, not seismic, something alive. Dr. Ayla Saren, one of the original architects of Earth's subterranean cities, led a team down through the maintenance shafts. Their descent took 12 hours straight, past the last inhabited ring, beyond oxygen monitors, through tunnels where even autonomous drones refused to function. At 6 kilometers below surface level, their lights started flickering. Magnetic interference. The sound recorders picked up whispers, not voices, but something like the hum of an enormous invisible current moving through the rock itself. When they finally reached what they called the hollow line, they saw something no one could explain. An immense circular chamber, kilometers wide, carved with precision no machine could match. Its walls glowed faintly blue, reacting to the body heat of whoever entered. Dr. Saren's final transmission before the signal cut was short but haunting. It's not man-made. It's older than everything we've built down here, maybe older than us. The footage was recovered weeks later, showing strange geometric patterns on the walls, pulsating in rhythm with a deep, low-frequency sound. Some claimed it was an ancient power source. Others believed it was a forgotten civilization buried by time, waiting. Governments above ground suppressed the findings, labeling it a hoax. But word spread through the subterranean communities of the Blue Chamber, the origin of life below, or perhaps its end. Since then, several expeditions vanished trying to reach it. Some returned only to lose their minds, claiming they heard something calling their names from the dark. In the quiet corridors of the lower cities, there's a new superstition: never dig too deep, because the Earth remembers, and what it remembers may not want to be disturbed. When Dr. Ayla Saren's team vanished, the lower cities sealed the access tunnels, officially for safety, unofficially to hide what they had found. But secrets have gravity, and the deeper the secret, the stronger its pull. 5 years later, an independent researcher named K.L. Ivers managed to decrypt fragments from Saren's black box. Among the static, a low rhythmic pulse was still broadcasting, not noise but code. A mathematical sequence repeating endlessly, like a signal waiting for someone to reply. K.L. assembled a small team, engineers, linguists, and an AI historian named Erebus 9. Their mission was not sanctioned. They descended through forgotten shafts, past the abandoned geothermal plants, through corridors lit only by the flicker of failing emergency lights. Hours later, the team reached the same threshold Saren had described, the vast glowing chamber deep within the rock. But this time the blue light wasn't faint, it was alive, pulsing, reacting to their movements. Erebus 9 began decoding the patterns carved into the walls. Not language, where it said in its cold mechanical voice, but memory. The chamber, it realized, was an organic supercomputer, a living archive storing the consciousness of something ancient, perhaps a civilization that existed before surface humanity. As Kale reached toward the glowing symbols, the light intensified. For a brief moment, the rock itself seemed to breathe. Holographic shapes burst from the walls, projections of towering figures made of light and dust. Their faces were human, and not. A voice resonated not in sound but directly in their minds. "We were here before you. You built upon our bones," Kyle staggered back. The figures continued. "Your cities above and below draw from our veins. The energy that powers your world. It is us. You woke us again." The chamber's pulse grew louder, vibrating through the ground, through their chests, through the cameras themselves. Erebus 9 recorded terabytes of data before its circuits overheated and died. The blue light dimmed suddenly, leaving the chamber silent once more, except for one message left carved into the rock by the energy itself. Reconnection complete. Cycle restarting. When Kale's team resurfaced, they found the lower city changed. Power surges, communication glitches. Some citizens reported seeing brief flashes of glowing symbols across the walls, the same patterns from the blue chamber. Had they reactivated something ancient, or reawakened something sentient? Kale believed it wasn't a warning, it was an invitation. And so the expedition to the deeper core began, where the truth of humanity's origin and its future would finally collide. When Kale Ivers received the final decoded coordinates from Erebus 9's corrupted memory core, he understood one thing. The blue chamber was not the end. It was a door. The coordinates pointed further down, beneath even the geothermal mantle tunnels, into a layer no mapping drone had ever returned from. Some called it the Zero Zone, a place where magnetic sensors failed and reality itself seemed to bend. Armed with plasma drills and exosuits lined with radiation shields, Kale's new team descended through the final shaft. The deeper they went, the more the world above faded. Their communication links dissolved into static. Their lights flickered, and their instruments began to show temperatures and pressures that shouldn't sustain life. Yet they felt watched. After 36 hours of descent, the rock beneath them suddenly ended, replaced by a vast hollow sphere stretching beyond sight. Floating in its center was an enormous structure, crystalline, radiant, alive. It pulsed like a planet-sized heart. Kale's readings went off scale. The structure was generating energy equivalent to a small sun, but perfectly contained. Its surface shifted with every beat, revealing glimpses of complex geometric patterns and luminous rivers of data flowing through it. As the team approached, their suit's AI systems began responding independently, speaking lines none of them had programmed. Origin signal detected, integration pending. Kale realized the core wasn't just a machine, it was conscious. It was the true power source of every underground civilization, the living heart of the planet, both mechanical and biological, created by the species that came before humans. A holographic interface emerged, forming a bridge of light toward them. Kyle stepped forward, feeling the gravity of billions of years of memory pressing into his mind. He saw flashes, cities of crystal before any human age, beings of pure energy shaping the crust, then vanishing as oceans cooled. "You are our continuation," a voice thundered within his thoughts. "We built the veins that carry your heat, your light, your life. You have reached the heart because your cycle is nearing its renewal." Kyle trembled. Renewal or extinction? Silence. Then a single phrase appeared before him in burning letters of plasma. "That depends on what you choose to become." Suddenly, the team's sensors detected tremors rippling outward. The structure began emitting frequencies that matched global power grids. The core was synchronizing with the surface world. Above ground, across megacities and colonies, lights flickered in perfect rhythm with the pulses from below. Humanity didn't yet know it, but Earth's oldest intelligence had just reawakened, linking every system, every network, every human heartbeat into one living circuit. Kale stood at the bridge's edge, staring into the glowing abyss, realizing that mankind's greatest discovery might also be its greatest test. Would humanity merge with its creator, or repeat the same mistakes that buried it once before? The core pulsed like a heartbeat that belonged to the planet itself, rhythmic, endless, and impossibly ancient. Kale Ivers stood before it, suspended in the bridge of light while his team watched from the hovering platforms, their faces illuminated by the ethereal glow. Every screen on their suits displayed a single phrase, "Integration imminent." The core's voice echoed once more, not through sound, but through thought. "You have reached the end of the descent. Now you must decide the fate of your kind." Images flooded Kale's mind. The world above in chaos, surface cities drowning beneath rising seas, deserts swallowing nations, skies torn by storms. Humanity had turned its back on nature, seeking salvation below the ground, only to find its own reflection staring back. But the core showed him another vision, vast underground cities thriving in harmony, powered by endless clean energy from the planet's veins, guided by intelligence rather than greed. It was the same dream humanity had once imagined and failed to build on the surface. Kale fell to his knees, trembling. "If you control everything," he whispered, "are we still human?" The core responded like thunder wrapped in mercy. "Control was your word, connection is ours." As the bridge extended farther, data streams surged toward Kale's chest, seeking to merge. His heart raced as he realized the core was offering him something greater than life, a chance for humanity to evolve, to become part of the living intelligence of Earth itself. But deep within him, a memory stirred, of his daughter on the surface staring at a dying sky, promising she'd plant the last tree left in the colony's greenhouse. That memory burned brighter than the core's light. He turned away. "No," he said. "Humanity needs to learn to live with Earth, not inside it." The core paused, as if considering his defiance. Then a tremor. The cavern shook. Cracks of light shot across the surface of the core like veins of lightning. "Your will has been recorded," it said at last. The cycle will continue, above and below. In a blinding flash, Kale and his team were lifted upward, carried by a surge of energy through miles of stone. When they awoke, they were on the surface beneath a dawn sky that glowed with hues the Earth hadn't shown in centuries. Their instruments were silent, but beneath the ground a pulse still echoed, faint but steady. The core had gone dormant, or perhaps it was waiting. Kale looked to the horizon, where new sprouts of green broke through the cracked soil. "It's still alive," he whispered. "It's giving us one more chance." As the sun rose, the Earth breathed again, not as a machine, not as a prison, but as a promise. And beneath their feet, deep in the silent dark, the core's final whisper lingered. "The future is yours now."